I want to offer my 100% support for the candidature of Raila Amolo Odinga to be the chairman of African Union Commission. What position is he fighting for? Previously, during the, we started off in 1963 as All Africa Union. And between 1963 to 2002, it used to be called OAU. And the position that he wants during the time of the OAU, it used to be called Secretary General of OAU. Those of my age can remember we had somebody from Togo who used to occupy that seat for a long time, who was called Kojo, Adan Kojo. So during the time of the OAU, the position used to be called Secretary General. But in the year 2002, the group was changed. We no longer called ourselves All Africa Union, but started calling ourselves African Union. There are two reasons. The first reason why we changed from Organization of Africa Union to African Union was the Organization of Africa Union had as its core mandate the liberation of Africa from colonialism to independent countries. And the second reason why OAU changed to African Union was that we were drawing parallels with the European Union, where instead of political independence, we were now looking for economic independence. So the position of OAU Secretary General was renamed to be that one of African Union Council Chairman. African Union Chair is usually a president and it is rotational, but for African Union Council, this one we can equate, for Kenyans, we can say that this is the CEO, like Marjan Rajab, who is the CEO of Electoral Commission, while the chairman is somebody else. So he is going to be the head of, the African Union chairman is just a ceremonial, and usually it's the president or head of the government that we usually have meetings in his or her country. But the council is the one that runs the African Union. So he is going to be the head of that. And you remember he was working there in charge of infrastructure. This one, in simple terms, is like he was a minister, now he's going there to be the president. The Olusegun Obasanjo was not completely right when he said that that position is usually held by former prime ministers and presidents. What I know is that it has been occupied by a third person. Like Dlamini Zuma of South Africa, she was never a prime minister. So you'll find that that seat is good, it has been occupied and is fit for three people. It is fit for three people. One, former presidents. Two, former heads of government like prime minister or chief cabinet secretary. And three, former foreign affairs minister. As a region, East African region, we deserve it. We deserve it because apart from Madam Amina Mohammed, who tried and didn't make it, we have never had a serious candidate from Eastern Africa. So with Raila coming there, that is a plus for the region. There were two people from the region who were fit for the seat. One was Edward Lowassa and Raila Odinga. 1 month ago, Edward Lowassa was alive, now he is not. So Raila remains the only one. I would appeal to Kenyans. We have our domestic differences. We have our Kenya Kwanza Azimio divide. That is internal. That is internal. We should even think beyond that. We should not even take Raila to be a Kenyan candidate. Let us take Raila to be a regional candidate. And yes, Madam Amina Mohammed was fit, but then Raila is fitter for the position. He has the cloud, he has the whatever, and I doubt, usually there are 2 terms. There is 1 term, renewable ones, each going for 4 years. Now, him taking over in 2024 means that his term will end in 2028. I don't think in 2028 he would offer himself to go up to 2032. Age is not on his side. Why do I seem to be so much pro-Raila when it is believed that I am anti-Raila? Well, if you look at the Kenyan history, a lot of people fought for independence, but it is generally believed that Jomo Kenyatta was the father of our independence. A lot of people fought for multipartyism, but it is generally believed that Jaramogi is the father of multipartyism. A lot of people fought for the 2010 Constitution, and it is generally believed that Raila is the father of the 2010 Constitution. So I remember in 2012, I met Patrick Ojwang, who was a protocol officer in the Prime Minister's office, in Raila's office. That is 2012. Patrick Ojwang used to work with me in the intelligence in Mandera. We were born in the same year, and we were both from 6s, but I was senior to him, both in rank and both in police service. But when we met in 2012, when he was a senior protocol officer in Raila's office, I advised Patrick Ojwang to advise Raila that when we were going to have the next election, which was in 2013, he should have advised Raila to retire from politics. And then Ojwang looked at me and said, mkubwa, kwa nini hujapiga nguo pasi? I used to stay in those houses, mabati houses, where if you try to iron your clothes, it will triple. The electricity will triple and the whole plot will be in blackout. But I told him, if you buy me an iron box, I'll be ironing my clothes. And then it seems from the way he talked and he took me to Chumi for shopping, it shows that the story ended there, and he never I think passed the information to Raila, that one from the way he behaved. You will understand if you have seen my tape where I've talked of the 6th Kenyan president. And I still insist, and you can take that one to the World Bank, not even the Central Bank, that the next president of Kenya is coming from the next generation. It's coming from the next generation, the Babu Owino, Didi Nyoro age group. Babu Owino Didi Nyoro age group. That is the 6th president. And that is why I've always believed that it is always good to know, just like the gambler song of, is it Jim Reeves? No, Kenny Rogers. Kenny Rogers in the gambler song said, you should know when to walk away from the gambling casino. If you look at the people, Raila's past, the people he started with in multi-party politics in 1992, those who he was elected with, you can remember there is Paul Kabugi Muite, James Agri Orengo, Anyang' Nyong', and so on. Anyang' Nyong' is serving his 2nd term as a governor, so I don't think he's going for any political seat next. Orengo soon is going to... So you find people who joined politics in 1992 are no longer in politics. But he had formed a habit of second attempt, third attempt. In fact, some people had even started calling Baba the 6th. And it was not good for him to be called Baba the 7th, Baba the 13th. 1997, he contested against Moi. 2007, he contested against Mwai. 2017, he contested against Muigai. It would have been unfair for him to contest again in 2027. Of course, I believed that he would have left that. It is always good to know when to drop out. And you drop out when your ratings are still high. I know many politicians, especially from his home region, we have a lot of them who will be disappointed, although they will not show it, because showing that you are disappointed that he is going for the OAU, for the African Union job, it will cost you job. But I expect that him coming out of politics, there'll be a lot of new blood in Nyanza, because a lot of people have been not even minding him, they have been minding themselves, and they have spent most of their time just propping him up. I wonder whether those people, now that they'll be left alone, I wonder whether they'll come back. But most important thing is he has had 2 or 3 occasions to walk away, to just like Kenny Rogers said, and I think this is the last one. But most important, especially from us East Africans, is he fit for the position? To me, the answer is, there are 3 answers to that. Yes, yes, and yes. And this opportunity has come at the right time. It happened that you remember, you have to read between the lines, especially if you are an intelligence officer. You'll remember that there was an attempt to have him live with this. You know, they were meeting with Ruto, and all of them are toughies. So there was a way for him to graciously leave the scene. And the first attempt was made by the Tanzanian lady president, and she didn't succeed. But if you play back the tapes, you'll find that Raila was saying that he wants to meet Ruto, and he wants to meet him with a president, not necessarily a serving president. Not necessarily a serving president. Then from there, Olusegun Obasanjo went with him to Mombasa State House. Now, this story of going to Mombasa State House at 3 a.m. should be taken as a joke. You know, in Kenya, night meetings have got whatever, but whether they are leaders, 24 hours leaders, whether they met during the night or anything, but Obasanjo's message was that. And it is good that they planned that, and it is good that he's going to have a honorary exit from Kenyan politics. Now, I want to turn to Kenyans from both sides of the political aisle. This one is not for Jubilee. No, this one is not for Kenya Kwanza, and it is neither for Azimio. It is not even for Kenya, it is for East Africa. I have seen, from the time this story came, I have seen some politicians from both sides talking thrash. Forget that. You find that from Azimio, people saying he doesn't need permission from Kenya Kwanza. Oh, let me tell you, Kenya Kwanza and Azimio, that is our local politics. And Raila is not a Kenyan candidate. Take it to the bank, to the World Bank. Raila is an East African candidate. We have clans where we come from. You find that in a constituency, people from the same clan, you start making noise, hiyo kitu itaenda. Na it is beneficial to us East Africans. Thank you.